Right, day 2 in the Life Fiend garage. By the way, I can't stand Big Brother. It's banned in my house along with any other reality TV. So, weather's not great today. It's not raining at the moment, but it's wet, it's drizzly. Got caught out yesterday where half my garage was out in the driveway, so I had to rush around trying to cover all that. Had to leave the axles out all night because didn't get around to stripping them off. Managed to get 3 of the wheels off. One of the wheels is stuck fast. Obviously, if I'd loosened it whilst it was on the vehicle, I'd have been able to get that off now. Hindsight, eh? A couple of things. I was chatting to somebody last night. He pointed out that if I put if I jack up the car, I'm not going to get it in this garage, or not going to get it out of the garage rather. So that's something I got to think about. Once I get the rolling chassis sorted, I may have to think about leaving the Land Rover outside somewhere. Not too sure what I'll do about that. Maybe I'll get some sort of carport or something. I'm not sure. Somebody commented on my last YouTube video, Tom I think it was, and basically asked the question, why am I painting the galvanized chassis? Which is a good question. So I spent the morning. I've been going out googling it, going around the forums. It seems to be a lot of sort of pros and cons for both ways, whether you paint it or whether you keep it, just galvanized. I'm still not entirely convinced which is the best way, to be honest. I'm sure if I asked 20 different Land Rover people, I'd get 20 different answers. I do like the idea of keeping it just galvanized, keep it nice and shiny. However, I'm never going to be keeping this Land Rover indoors. I can't leave it around the house, around the back of my house. It'll always be at the front. So I've also bought the paint already now, so I think I'm going to go and paint it. That's not to say I think that's a better option. From what I've read, there's no sort of evidence one way or another which is best, whether you should just leave it galvanized or prime and paint. So I think I'll just paint it. Maybe then when I do the Discovery, likely I will have to change the chassis on the Discovery. Maybe I'll leave that as galvanized, a bit of an experiment, see which is better in 5 years' time. The wheel hub's off is going to be interesting. I'm going to need a bench. I'm going to need a bench vise for that. Probably have to wait until I get my shed. It's funny because you kind of do these things and you think, oh, I wish I had done this first, and but it's too late then. Obviously, if I'd loosened all these bolts and things when it was on the car, I'd have a lot easier time now. I'm going to go and put WD-40 all over the axles, every bolt I can see, leave it for a bit, come back, and then see if I can sort of start stripping that down. Get the diffs off, get the brakes off, get the wheel hubs off. I've got to go and buy a parts washer. I've got a lot of bits that can need cleaning over the coming weeks. So that I'll order next week. Once I've painted the chassis, that'll be the next job then. Basically just degreasing everything, rubbing any rust off. Right, so I've let WD-40 soak into these quite a while now. I've scraped off any rust I can. Now for the fun bit. I think I'll start taking the brake caliper off. Got 2 sets of bolts on the front here. That'll just remove the front part of the caliper, which allows you to change the brake pads. You've also got 2 mounting bolts on the back, which I'll try and get off as well. I'll do those first in fact, and then take the whole thing off in one go. M13. Well, that's surprising. I must admit, I didn't think I'd get that off. Especially now, a normal engineer would have this thing on his bench in a vise. But at the moment I don't have a shed, I don't have a bench or a vise, so I've got to make do with the driveway. Still,
I can sit here complaining about it, or I can just get out and get stuck in and do it. Hey! Look at that. I think while I've got it on there, now I've loosened the back ones, I'll see if I can get these front ones off as well, or at least loosen them. Excellent. So I'm using this breaker bar here. Before I got a Land Rover, I owned 2 of these. Really small one of those sort of really small socket sets, and then just an all 1/2 inch, which is about foot and a half long. Every time I try and do a job on a Land Rover, I have to go out and buy a bigger one. Okay, before I take that off, let me show you. Clean this off a bit. I should have cleaned all this off earlier, but like I say, it's raining every 10 minutes out here, so I'm just trying to do the best I can. Should probably have a mask on as well. Okay, so this is the brake caliper, brake disc system. Got 2 split pins going through there. I'll need to remove those in a minute. Be careful not to hit the caliper with this hammer, however these are going to be replaced, so that's interesting. I've got brake fluid leaking out, which means the pistons are probably gone. Once again, that doesn't matter, it'll all be replaced anyway. I just don't want it all over my driveway. Okay, so here's one of the brake pads, which should just slide out there, but obviously because everything's corroded, it's not going to come out. Now, I wouldn't usually go down here with a hammer, a screwdriver, bang it away against the disc, but the brake disc will be replaced, so not that bothered. Right, it's one of the brake pads. literally crumble in my hands. Got the brake disc itself, which rotates with the wheel. As you put your foot on the brake, compresses the brake fluid, which comes down the brake pipe, goes into the back. You have a piston in here. Piston pushes the other brake pad against the disc, and you've got this brake pad on the other side, and they're compressed together, and that slows the car down. As you take your foot off the pedal, the pressure is released just enough so the brakes release from the disc and the disc can continue moving. Okay, it's starting to rain again. Got the brake calipers off. Oops, these earlier. Rain is really getting on my nerves now.